What is up, everybody? Shauna D-Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great week. We are back to talk a little Auburn football, as obviously Hugh Freeze was fired on Sunday. DJ Durkin held his first press conference. I believe this was Tuesday. Yeah, he held it Tuesday, I believe. You know, sounded great. Happy for him. Now, obviously, we got to see how he does with Vanderbilt on Saturday. Sounds like Derek Nix is going to be the play caller, which I kind of was going to, I wanted to like lean that way. I wasn't sure because everybody knows like that was the biggest thing about firing Hugh Freeze was who's going to call the offense. Ken Austin has had some experience. Derek Nix probably not as much with him being with Freeze and Kiffin. But it sounds like he is going to be the play caller, and it also sounds like Ashton Daniels is going to be the starter. Sounds like Jackson Arnold has not had a good practice. I very confidently can say, I think we all can confidently say that Jackson Arnold's time at Auburn is basically done. I hate it for the kid, but and I think I don't know. It's tough to say, but I do hope things work out for him. Honestly, because to be quite honest, what he does really probably fits more with Georgia Tech. Now I think about it, because they don't throw the ball as much. They mainly run. And Haynes King has played great. He just has to make some throws here and there. I think that could be an interesting offense that Jackson Arnold could thrive in. But anyway, it seems like Ashton Daniels is going to be the starter for the game against Vanderbilt. So basically, what do we need to see? You're 4-5 right now. You have an opportunity to win this game and then win Mercer. You win this game, you're 5-5. You just need one more win to get to a bowl game, and you could pull this up. Like Diego Pavia has beaten you 3 straight seasons. You got to beat them. And obviously Vanderbilt is highly rated. I think they're like 16 or something like that in the playoff poll. Very good defense, obviously. Offensively, Diego Pavia makes things happen. Although it was weird what the game, like the Alabama game, for instance, he made some mistakes that cost them the game, and then they almost came back and beat Texas as well. That was probably more of a Texas thing than a Vanderbilt thing, but Vanderbilt made plays. So from a defensive standpoint, you have got to be locked in. And Xavier Atkins, he has been a stud all season long. I would expect him and DeMarcus Riddick be the main guys to focus on Diego Pavia. Keep him in the pocket, QB spy him, and that kind of stuff. Because outside of that, you could probably say Vanderbilt is probably they are a good football team. I'm not denying that. Even going toe to toe with Alabama and Texas, teams are vastly more talented than they are. They were able to hang around, and that's all thanks to Diego Pavia making plays. That place is going to be rockets. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff. Defensively, Auburn just needs to do what they've been doing. That's basically for me. It is. I'm going to be curious to see how much focus Durkin is going to be involved with the defense. I wonder if he is going to. I forgot the other guy's name that's there. Like he's a good friend of his that Auburn hired in the offseason, but Rush something is his last name. But is he going to kind of be the guy to mainly handle the defensive coordinator duties, plays and stuff like that, while Durkin, maybe still has his hand in it, but also focuses on the offense and be the head coach and not just the defensive coordinator. I'm curious on if that happens. And then offensively, I'm very curious to see what we're going to see from the offense. They mentioned they made some staff changes, but I think it was all off the field staff changes. And plus, it's like probably already too late in the season to I wouldn't say too late. You could have, but um, you probably could have made changes with the offensive line. That is one I'm interested to see on the offensive line because we all know this, and we've been saying this throughout the season, is that this offensive line is better at run blocking than they are pass blocking. So are we going to see a heavily dedicated commitment to the run game, and then obviously making passes here and there when the opportunity presents itself? Now, obviously, the last week you didn't run the ball very well, you know, and I didn't notice, but Kentucky basically did the same thing to I forgot who they played. They played somebody who had a backup center, and basically the same kind of stuff that was going on in that game. The defensive coordinator was dialing up. You know, worked the same thing with Auburn, but I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see. It sounds like offensively there seems to be like a different step in the pep or a pep in a step, however you want to call it. With the offense, it's I'm very curious. I am very curious to see on how um, this game plays out. I think the spread. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I think Vanderbilt is favored. Let me find it. See, here it is. So Vanderbilt has a 70% chance to win. Okay. And it's Vandy minus 6.5, so about close to a touchdown favorite in this game. I could potentially see that. I mean, the Auburn defense has held opponents to their lowest averages in scoring really all season. So, and you see Vanderbilt has scored. Let's see what we got. If I can find it. So their last couple of games, you know, 31 points against Texas, 10 points, or no, I'm sorry, 17 points against Missouri. I feel like that's what this game is going to probably be like. I watched this game, the Missouri Vanderbilt game, very defensive heavy style of game. I could potentially see that being the case with this game against Auburn on Saturday. LSU, they scored 31. Alabama, they only scored 14. And then obviously like Utah State. Okay. So I think that's what it's going to be more like. It's just going to be more like a very defensive battle, especially with you know, not sure what Auburn's going to be doing offensively, um, but everybody being on the same page because obviously, you know, stuff has not come out. That's not what I mean, but like stuff about Hugh Freeze not being involved in game planning and stuff like that. Um, there's a lot of stuff that has come out since Hugh Freeze has been fired that makes you start to make sense or like, oh, okay. Because for instance, like I remember people talk about the Georgia game. You remember how last year Peyton Thorne and Hugh Freeze were not on the same page with what they were seeing in the play call, and come to find out, like the offensive staff with Peyton when they're putting the game plan together, okay, this we'll do this play with this look, that kind of stuff, and we'll run it by the coach to make sure. Never happened. Like Hugh Freeze was never really involved in game planning, and so he would call stuff in games that was not in the game plan, and so it's like it was just like an offensive mess with Hugh Freeze, and I'm gonna be curious to see on the like how locked in is there because it sounds like everybody's gonna be on the same page. Durkin is gonna make sure what we talk about, what we do on Monday, is the same stuff we're gonna do on Saturday during game day, and so it's gonna be interesting. It is gonna be interesting. I don't know. At seven, I trust his Auburn defense. Even if Auburn loses the game, if the offense looks marginally better, that's a positive thing. Like I'm not expecting Auburn to go out and score 45 points against Vanderbilt, but if they score more than 21 points, that is vastly improved over what we've seen pretty much throughout SEC play when it comes to the Auburn football offensive football side of things. So I mean, we'll see. We will see for sure. I be quite honest. I think I'm going to roll with Auburn. I think I'm going to pick Auburn. And this isn't like it's not crazy because if you go and watch some of the teams that have fired their coaches so far this season, a lot of them have bounced back and won some games. Like UCLA did it. I think Virginia Tech did it. We'll see if LSU does it on Saturday against Alabama. But I feel like Auburn, the defense is going to keep them in the game, and I feel like the offense is going to do enough. They're gonna finally pull their weight enough to keep to win the game, and I think Auburn is going to beat Vanderbilt this Saturday in Nashville. And then also Damari Alston he plans on entering the transfer portal. And obviously that can change depending on obviously who Auburn hires and things like that. I may do a video about that later on, about the whole coaching thing and my thoughts on it. But that is something. And then tonight, Auburn men's basketball is back. They are playing Merrimack, or I guess that's how you pronounce it. I definitely want to see a better. I just want to see a better play from them because obviously the game on Monday, you're like, yeah, it's Bethune Cookman, but you're vastly more talented team, and like communication was like a big issue defensively. They're gonna get bullied on the inside. We know that. So I want to see a much better offensive and defensive performance from this basketball team. So hopefully we get that. But Auburn should easily win tonight, win tonight. So that should not be anything to worry about. And then we'll find out how things go on Saturday for sure. When Auburn takes on Vanderbilt in Nashville. But guys, that's relatively it. I think Auburn will win the game. I don't really have a score prediction. I think it'll be a defensive battle. So I think I'll go with 24-17 Auburn with the win. That's what I'll probably go with. So we'll find out. Drop your score predictions down in the comment section below. But other than that, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure you hit that like and subscribe button, comment below, and I will see you all in the next video. Y'all have a good one.